This is changing the narrative again on your screens or coming to disturb your evenings. I have with me here Sherrif, who's going to be our guest for today. He's very knowledgeable about the whole studying abroad. I mean, he's a smarty pants with a actuarial science background, statistics, maths. I'll leave him to introduce himself later. But before we start, thank you for joining. And I want to talk a little bit about Starlight Foundation Ghana. We're doing an amazing job trying to pick or take street connected kids back to school, back home as well, and off the streets because they do not belong on the streets. We do believe kids or every kid deserves the right to school, especially from such a young age. It's a basic human right that they don't have to fight for. It is their privilege to be in school. That's where they belong. So if you want to know more, please do visit our website at starlightfoundationghana.org, and also connect with us on LinkedIn, on all our social media platforms to follow up on the good job that we're doing. There's also a online store with t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, accessories. There's a lot going on that on our online store, AAAgroup.com. If you need any t-shirt or hoodies personalized as well, we can do it for you. But 50% of the proceeds does go to the projects that Starlight Foundation embarks on. So I would say the more you buy, the more the proceeds. So the reason for the store is basically because sometimes I believe when we do a one-off giving, we just forget it and we get on with our lives. But when you do pick the t-shirt, when you do pick any of these accessories or items that you've bought, it will reconnect you to the foundation and the good job that you're also doing. So it's more or less wearing your good deeds on your sleeve, like they say it. So you're wearing your good deeds. So you can also help by joining our social media platforms, reposting, hashtagging, you name it, and mentioning it to other people. The kids on the streets do deserve to be at home. They do deserve to be in the classrooms with the way the world is going. I just had a chat with Sherrif, and we all do believe that every kid should be in school, and every kid do deserve a good foundation when it comes to education. So, without wasting much more time, we're going to delve straight into our event or our chat, like I like to say it. Um, with studying abroad, scholarships, masters, undergrad, and so on and so forth. So, Sheriff, if you can say a little bit about yourself, what you do. Um, I'm very interested in how you're able to study math, statistics, science, and all that. Wow,
Okay,
it's amazing. So, yes, the floor
okay.
is all yours.
Thank you for and your team for this opportunity, and thank you to listeners and viewers. My name is Sherrif Twerefour. Um, I'm a math instructor by profession, and I am a really enterprising person. I believe in education, so I normally tell people, I encourage people to never give up and like learn what you can. So I was fortunate to study my bachelor's in University of Ghana, and I read statistics with math. And for my master's, I had my master's in statistics at Northern Arizona University in the same statistics. And some I know a lot of people don't like math, but math is really fun.
You're
It's
talking to one of them.
yeah, math is fun, and everything in the world evolves around math. And I really like this like informative session because people don't have much information, and we are creating awareness, we are encouraging, we are like drawing people's attention to like the easy opportunities or the opportunities available. And some might say we are encouraging brain drain, but no, in the long run we are really going to create a change. So basically, I'm a change maker. I believe in like helping others because you don't know like the impact you might have in someone's life, and I believe we can all do that collectively.
That's true. So with your statistic background and everything, um, if you can take us through your scholarship journey or your study abroad journey, where it started, when it started, and
Okay.
why you decide what okay, not why you decided, like how did you get that opportunity to study abroad?
Okay. So once I completed my bachelor's University of Ghana, I used to teach my colleagues, my friends, like during the normal undergrad level. So I rejected an offer of being a teaching assistant at the Department of Statistics in Lagos. It was one of the decisions I regretted, but eventually I wanted to see how the industry like was. So I decided to volunteer and work with USAID. So whilst working with USAID Ghana, a friend of mine, he's called Bernard. He's a doctor in the US. He recommended Northern Arizona University to me, and he was like, "Oh, Sherif, you need to study abroad because you are smart, you are good, you can help make a change in the world." So I decided to take on like the challenge. So I started like looking for schools, and eventually like I started searching more schools together with the Northern Arizona because you need to have a backup plan. And at the end of the day, I reached out to like the department. I reached out to graduate coordinators about my interest in their program, and like they directed me to their website. I followed their instructions. I submitted my documents, and luckily I got admitted into Northern Arizona University. And then, though I got admitted, I didn't get funding at first.
Oh,
So I emailed them back, said I didn't apply for admission only. I applied for admission with funding. And they were like, I should be patient. They haven't made like funding decisions yet. So after a couple of, I think, weeks, thankfully I got my graduate assistantship offer, and the rest is history.
wow, nice. So with your scholarship journey, take us through it. How was the preparation? Um, your challenges and obviously your wins as well. So if you can walk us through your journey.
So, in terms of my challenges, my major challenge was during the application process was recommendations. Recommendation letters
That has
it's
come up a
it's
lot.
really tough. Yes,
Yeah.
and I remember one doctor or lecturer telling me like he will write a recommendation letter for me, but I can only send him a WhatsApp message. I can't call him. If I call him, he won't do it. And I had to go to like the department in Ghana, like Legon, back and forth, just to remind him to please submit a recommendation letter for me, because I had submitted my passport, my statement of purpose, my transcripts, but I was left with my recommendation letters. So I had to go back and forth and remind him till he submitted it. And once he submitted it, I was able to get the offer. So it's a major challenge, recommendations. And some schools now are taking the standardized tests. So it becomes a challenge when you're in Ghana because I was fortunate for someone to pay my GRE for me. I have an uncle in the US who like paid it for me, but it's also a challenge because it's as at 2016, 2017 was $210. It's not everyone who has that funds to pay. So recommendation letters, standardized tests,
You had to pay. Oh, so is that the standardized test or the
the
that you
standardized test, the GRE,
had?
you have to pay like $210 to take the GRE. And some schools don't waive the GRE. So it's like a challenge, especially when you want to get a scholarship or when you want to get an assistantship.
Mm.
And with my strengths, I feel like getting a first class helped, and also building interaction with the school or the department really helped. And fortunately, there were Ghanaians already in that school, so they also set good precedent for like able to pass through the school. So it kind of helped like prospective applicants who were from Ghana. So that was also, I feel it was also a strength in like me securing a scholarship. If hello, can you hear me?
Yes, so you won't believe it, but we have a power cut in my flat. So yes,
Oh,
this is very strange. And so I've just had to connect my laptop to my phone and get my my phone torch on. So yes, so that's why everything went. So my Wi-Fi and everything is gone. But I think we're still on yeah, we're still live. So
okay.
sorry viewers, yes, I've had a power cut in the flat, and so hence why we went off. But yeah, we're still going to carry on. So yes, back on where we left off. So yeah, your scholarship journey. So when you paid the GRA,
Yeah.
um,
I was talking about some of the strengths, like and the weaknesses. For the strengths, normally I would say building interactions with like the professors from my school really helped because they don't know you, and the first thing they would get or what would make them know you is your interaction with them, your email, even before your like statement of purpose, because it tells you, like it tells them how you are or how you are going to help them, because they are looking at the bigger picture. They don't just look at, okay, let's just give him funding. No, they want to see what you can like do to help or make the world a better place. And also your transcripts or my transcripts were like a strength, because during my third and fourth year, like I really tried my best to make sure I finish on a strong note, because um, there's this note or notion that not every student starts well, but they try to see how you finish strongly, because they know that maybe a lot of people face challenges during their freshman or sophomore year. So that I feel that was also a strength in me securing, and especially um, on your CV, you'd have to like they look at your CV, they look at your experience, either being a volunteer, either teaching, either having any research experience. All those things like count towards your you being selected for a particular scholarship or an assistantship.
Okay. Um. So my next question is, when you were able to secure um your visa, and I guess the visa wasn't a problem either. It
Yes.
was just the transcript.
Mhm.
Okay. So when you transitioned, I mean, you've got someone in the UK, so I guess, I mean, in the US, so I guess your story will be different from
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't have anyone, because we had um one of these conversations last week, last month, with our Canada scholarships, and it was I felt, so we had two guests. One
Mhm.
had family, the other didn't, and the two sort of merged because one found it easier, obviously, because there was family.
Mm,
The other didn't, and so both had different challenges. So I guess you didn't have any family challenges because you have a family. Speaking to maybe some of your colleagues or your friends that didn't have a family compared to you that had a family, would you say your story is different to theirs? Did they have any issues? Did having family make anything easier for you? Or
yes. Having family abroad sometimes helps. I won't say always,
mm,
because um, though you might have family abroad, but they might only help you during the start of your journey.
mhm,
It will solely depend on you, like being able to make it or not make it. I sometimes like consider myself to be someone who doesn't have family abroad because I'm from Africa. So in case I see people from Africa in another school, I consider them as family.
family.
Yes. So if someone doesn't have a family abroad, you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to even the school's international office, like international page, and look for like Africans in that school. You
Mm,
can try to build some relations or contact with them. A kind of, though you are not from the same like biological family or something, but we are all considered a family. And it's hard. It's not easy if you don't have a family abroad, but I feel you can pass through.
mm. So I'm going to go into like life as a student in the US. How did you find it? Um, Again, when we were having our last event, I think one of the girls brought a very important experience, saying they had they had a opportunity to go to the US,
Mhm.
but they chose Canada because of all the racism, the gun crimes, and
Mhm.
whatnot. So Canada became like a safe haven for them. How have you found your studies as a black man um, in the US?
I feel in the US, though all those things are going on, racism, gun violence, and what have you, but to me, I faced different challenges like whilst I came to the US to study. One was the weather. I don't like being cold.
Oh, yeah.
Flagstaff in Arizona is is the coldest place in Arizona. So I always used to wear a jacket, and I even fell in the snow one time back, which like made me so sad.
Oh,
The weather like was a challenge for me. Food, um, transitioning or moving from like the food you enjoy the most to
mm.
like the American food was tough. So you'd have to learn how to cook, like, or you'd have to figure it out.
Adapt with. Yeah,
Yeah,
your new
sister.
environment. Well, I had the same issue when I came to the Netherlands, because well, in the UK, I had to adapt obviously when um I was young when I came, but I still had to transition in or adapt in a way. And then moving to Netherlands was a shock because well, I'm used
Mm,
to UK food, and then
okay.
I got here. There's no African shop. There's no UK stuff. I had to sort of Google Translate most of the food, and when I didn't have my phone, it was a challenge because I come home and I open
Mm,
it like, okay, this is not what I thought it was. So yeah, I kind of can understand
yeah,
what you mean by that as well. Yes.
yeah. And in terms of like racism and stuff, whatever like the situation is, I feel it's bound to make you stronger. Cause I've been racially abused before in a
Wow.
bus and
On the bus.
like in a school bus, and I didn't even know like the person was referring to me. Like he was making all sorts of like comments, but so the driver had to stop the bus, like kick the person out of the bus. He asked me if I want to like press charges or do something, and I was like, oh, um it's fine,
Okay.
like yeah, it's all good, life still goes on. Because um I feel it's part of the journey. I don't need to have it easy. Like I don't need to like I don't need to have so many people like me or like
Mm,
what I do. I need to have like naysayers. I need to have people who envy me or something. It's making me stronger. It makes me a better person. That's how I feel. And in terms of like security and like gun violence and all those things, sometimes it's worrying like as a person because
mhm,
you feel you are not safe. I had a friend who got like um he had a bad experience in terms of like a gun was being pulled at him and all those things. Yes, as an
wow.
international student, and like the trauma that you would go into,
Go through.
it's not easy, but it's made him a better person now. So I feel there are challenges in all aspects of life, and I feel once it doesn't define you.
Mhm,
So once it gets in or it comes in, just okay, accept it happened. Now I need to move on because you have a lot ahead of you.
ahead of you. Wow. Wow. Um, yeah, so I think we've seen a lot of that on the news. It's
Yeah.
something that we cannot say doesn't exist, or we can just, ignore. It's there. So if you're listening and you're thinking of going to the US to study abroad, we're not here to scare you, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No.
this is all part of the conversation, because sometimes we neglect all of these things and then you go there and it's a shock, or it can be a
Mm,
shock to you. But so far as you know this could happen, you kind of prepare yourself
yeah.
for it. So we're not here to scare you, but it's also part of the journey that
Mhm.
you have to know. So thank you for throwing light on that, Sherif. So I'm gonna draw us back into the whole journey, study abroad journey. Um, so when you started your course, because I would say sometimes it's not the language. It's not like you can't speak English or you don't understand English, but the
Yeah.
accent can be a problem. Did
Yes.
that affect you in any way with your studies, or was that also part of the challenge? Or
Yes. It was part because um we from Ghana, like we do we speak English, but
Mhm.
when you are speaking with like the whites or you are speaking with like someone in the US, they at first I had to speak like twice for them to like
You
understand
understand? Yeah.
what I'm saying. So when we're having like group discussions or group studies, sometimes you'd have to like reiterate what you said or something before they understand. But I think after a couple of like a semester or two, like it will flow naturally.
Mm,
That's how I feel. Yeah. And once they know you are from Ghana and like you have a different accent, they really like it. They love it. They're like, oh, you speak good English. Like, oh, we didn't know Ghana, like Ghanaians speak English, or we didn't know like you were that fluent. So though it was hard, but it
mm,
helped. help.
Okay. Wow. Yes. So yeah. If you're listening to us and you've got any questions, kindly drop it in the chat, and we will read it as we get it for our guests to sort of answer it. And if we don't know it, we can always come back to you. That's how we do it here. So if you don't have the answer now, we find it out and go back to the person who asked it. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about study abroad and scholarships opportunities out there in the US. So we're going to delve straight into more questions regarding the actual scholarship. So scholarships, you were able to attain a scholarship.
Yes. So I
Yes.
am. We have forms of scholarship.
Hmm.
So I won or I got a graduate assistantship.
Okay.
We have like two forms of, like, let me say, financial aid. There's scholarship and there's assistantship.
Okay.
So scholarship normally comes in the form of money. Let's say you won a $10,000 scholarship. Let's say an international excellence award. That's $10,000. Let's say they give it to you. What you would use that money for, or if you want to use it for your tuition, that's fine. If you want to use it for your living expense, that's on you. But normally, I encourage or I prefer the graduate assistantship.
Okay.
Under the graduate assistantship, we have graduate teaching assistantship, we have graduate research assistantship, we have graduate student assistantship. That's for masters. And for bachelors, there's also, like, we have scholarships. They have like the dean scholarship, they have the academic excellence scholarships. They have like, it has its worth. Some are able to win like a $68,000 scholarship over like 4 years.
Okay.
So like $17,000 a year for 4 years. Some people are even like, those who are into like sport or athletics, like they can also get a sports scholarship. Um, and there are also forms of external, like diversity scholarships, and like underprivileged scholarships that you can use to study abroad on the US.
So why do you prefer the assistantship?
So the assistantship is normally a full package. It comes with a full package. You can get tuition waiver, you can get health insurance, and you get
So
monthly stipend
you get a tuition waiver. Is that
waiver.
so? That means you don't have
You
to
don't
worry
pay
about it.
tuition. Yes, so it's like, it's either you get a full tuition waiver or a partial tuition waiver. So the graduate assistantship, it's we have 20 hours. That's the highest international students can work in the US. And we have 10-hour graduate assistantship. Normally, if you get 20-hour graduate assistantship, it's a full assistantship. It comes
Okay.
with tuition, like waiver, full tuition waiver. It comes with health insurance, and it comes with a monthly stipend. So some of the schools, they don't give health insurance, though they can give you an assistantship, but they want you to pay for your own health insurance.
Okay.
So I feel that's a better option or better package than the scholarship. Yeah,
All right. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So now I'm gonna have to let you speak on the two.
yeah.
Give me the pros and cons of scholarship and the pros and cons of assistantship. So let's say there's someone out there
Mhm,
who's more or less looking for um because I know studying abroad
mhm.
as international students, I've seen some of the amounts that they have to pay. It's expensive. Plus all the extra stress that comes with it.
Yes,
Moving into another country where you're going to sleep at or accommodation, books, anything that is to do with studying. It, tuition alone, it's quite a lot for international
yes,
students. So bringing everything together from somebody who's probably moving from an African country, for
mhm,
example, why should they pursue a scholarship, or why should they pursue assistantship? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
So with the bachelor's, let's say with bachelor's, if someone is interested in applying to a bachelor's program, normally it's advisable you look for scholarships, and you don't only look for one scholarship. The school has an international scholarship package, and your department has its own scholarship packages. But the thing is, normally the scholarship packages at the department, the money is very, very small. They
Okay.
can give you a $5,000 scholarship. They can give you a $10,000. They can even give you a $20,000 scholarship. It's too small. Why is it too small? The tuition is like, let's say 50,000, or like the money that you're supposed to show on your I-20, like the financial expenses, the total is like 50,000. You've won a $20,000 scholarship. What if, let's say, your parents can't afford to pay the remaining 30? So if someone is interested in applying to a bachelor's program, you can apply to not only one, you can apply to so many scholarships.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And once you win them, or you like you get approved for the scholarship, then they will apply them to your I-20, so that you can reduce the deficit, or like the one your parents or your family member is going to cater for, like the other expenses. So that's with the scholarships. Let's say with the bachelor, sorry. But for the masters, the tuition is expensive. There's a
Mm,
university that charges like 71,000. That's your tuition and your living expenses. You have to show that before you can get a visa or something. And the thing is, some departments, they don't give graduate assistantship. That's why when you're applying to a school in the US for a master's program, you have to research. You have to be specific into the school that you're applying to. You can't just apply to that school because your friend is there. No. Or you can't just apply to that department because you feel like, oh, I just want to divert from business administration to, let's say, statistics. No.
mm,
You need to have a course. You need to have a reason. Like you have to be interested in what you are doing.
what you're doing, yeah.
Yes. So um the master's tuition, it's really expensive. And even if you get a master's scholarship, it's not enough to cater for the tuition. So that's when the assistantship comes in. So even if you get an assistantship, that gives you a tuition waiver. They are paying you a full tuition waiver, or let's even a partial tuition waiver. They are paying some part of your tuition for you. It's gonna reduce, let's say, that 70,000 to, let's say, like 30,000 or 20. And then let's say they don't give you health insurance. Once you get there, you can enroll for like some of the cheapest health insurance like options available. And then you decide to what, like, move on with it. Also, some schools don't give stipend. They just give you a tuition waiver and a health insurance. But I know, or I feel, the ones that come with the tuition waiver, the health insurance, and the monthly stipend, they help you because the stipend, you are going to use that stipend to pay your accommodation. You are
Mm,
going to use it to like feed yourself, to pay for a bus and all those things. So um if the tuition is high, like checking the school, you have to check the financial cost.
financial
If it's
cost.
high, you can reach out to the department. Oh, what are the prospects of getting a graduate assistantship? They will reply, they will tell you, okay, this and this, because you need to meet a certain standard before you can be considered for an assistantship. You don't just need to like apply. No, you need to
Okay.
reach this. Yes. So that's how it works.
Right. So you said you can combine scholarships.
Yes.
So when you say you can combine scholarships, so is this the department one, and then the the university itself? Because I know certain
Mhm.
departments in the university have
Mhm.
got scholarships that they give to their students, and the university as a whole also sometimes have different scholarships that um, they give to not just international students. It can be home students who obviously
Mhm.
have challenges with
Yeah.
their finances, or are even great students,
Mhm.
and they qualify for such. So when you say you can combine scholarships, give me example.
Okay, so I'm going to explain it in terms of someone who is outside the US and someone who's already in the US.
Hmm.
So let's say I'm outside US and I'm applying to a school and I want a scholarship. So I can apply. There are international scholarships at every university in the US. Or if I don't say, let's say majority. So I can reach out to the international office and ask, oh, what are there scholarship opportunities for international students? I can apply to that. Let's say it's 10,000. I have that. Remember, all these things are before you get your I-20. The department also, let's say, has a diversity scholarship, or let's say the dean has a diversity scholarship, like international students, or like everyone can apply to. So you can secure from different departments. Then, before you submit your they send the I-20 to you, they might ask you to show, like, if you have any form of assistantship, if you have any form of scholarship that you've won. So you'd send all those documents to the international office before they issue I-20. So on the I-20, all the scholarship will be listed there before they deduct to give you a deficit or
Right, right, right.
yeah.
I'm with you.
So
Okay.
that's if someone is outside the US.
Hmm.
Let's say if someone is already in the US and has even gotten an assistantship, there are department scholarships that you can apply to. Though the department has given you a full assistantship or a half graduate assistantship, there are like excellence awards, let's say worth 5,000. That money is just to help you like contribute towards your living expenses. So you can have an assistantship and also win the department scholarship or even other like department scholarships, provided you qualify.
Mm.
So in that sense, you're also combining like financial aid, or you are combining an assistantship with scholarship.
Okay, so you could combine
Yeah,
scholarship
you could.
and
Good.
assistantship. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. So you said you need to qualify for an assistantship.
Yes.
What are the basic um qualification criteria, if I should put it that way? Um, or the standard thing for you to even be qualified for it.
Okay. So normally the student needs to be in like needs to have a good academic like record. That's one.
So when you say good academic record, so like a first class.
First class, second class upper,
Okay.
second class lower.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I've seen someone with a lower, like secure graduate assistantship.
Okay.
So the thing is, sometimes you would submit a personal statement, you submit your transcripts, and let's say if you have a low CGP or GPA, you can submit a supporting document showing why you got a low GPA. If you let's say go an upper, you can even submit a supporting document.
Mm.
Let's say, remember the assistantship, there are forms. We have teaching and we have research and we have students. So if I'm interested in, let's say, a teaching assistantship and I have the teaching experience, let's say I was a TA in Ghana, or let's say I used to tutor or I used to like mentor people
Hmm.
in on my CV, I can even add all those things. I can even add that to my personal statement. It makes me a good fit for a teaching assistant because I already have the experience. Also your personal statement, like once you tell them about your experience, even volunteering and all those things, like they really appreciate like you being able to work with different forms of people, because you are not going to teach one set of people, you are going to teach like a diverse group. So they need to know if you have such experience or such background. All those things come into play when you are being considered for an assistantship. For research, you should have some research experience. Maybe you did your you wrote a research paper. Maybe your thesis, like you can project it or brand it well for them to see how you are like you have some research experience. So that means because you are going to work with a professor when it comes to research, and you need to know something about research before you are considered for like a graduate research assistantship.
Okay.
So yeah, so those are basically some of the like let's say materials or the things you need before you qualify for
For the basic.
the basic. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a question. I'm gonna read it out. What factors should I consider when choosing a country to study abroad? And what are, okay, that's one part. And the second part is, what are some of the opportunities for international students in the US after graduating their degree? I think it's something that we're going to go. The second question
Okay.
is something that we're going to go into. The question I'll ask you, because I think we know for Germany, Canada, and even US in our, I think, third or so. And then we have the UK as well. But we're going
Okay.
to go into that as well
Okay.
later on. But if you can answer the first one, so
First,
what should I consider when choosing a country to study abroad?
okay. So though I'm in the US,
Mm-hmm.
some might say I'm being biased, but um the US is the hub for funding. Though someone might disagree to agree or agree to disagree, there are a lot of funding opportunities in the US
Okay.
comparing it to, from my experience, comparing to Canada, UK, and other parts of Europe or the world.
UK is quite tight. There is funding, but it's quite tight.
Yes, US, um, once you even apply for a school, sometimes you don't even need to do a separate application for scholarship or assistantship. Once you submit an application, you're automatically considered for like some form of money or scholarship.
You can you give us an example of these universities, and is it for specific courses or any course?
It's it depends. So I would say for bachelors, there are some schools. Once you apply, you are automatically considered, provided you have a good academic record, you are automatically considered for a merit-based scholarship.
Okay.
There's a school, Canisius College. I know of Suffolk University. Once you apply, you're automatically considered for scholarship. American University. Once you apply, you're automatically considered for scholarship. Um, my school, Northern Arizona University. Once you apply,
Mhm.
and you express an interest, you can be considered for the International Excellence Award or like the $10,000 scholarship. The schools are many, so the ones I remember,
Yeah.
yeah. So some of the schools generally, once you apply, you're already considered for scholarship. Hofstra University, um, a lot of them. So the thing is, US when it comes to funding,
Hmm.
it tops all the countries. So remember, someone can afford like his or her fees,
Yes.
some can't. So if you are interested in applying with scholarship or you want a scholarship, I would advise you to consider US first because they have a lot of funding opportunities and they are diverse. I feel the US is more diverse compared to the other countries. Um,
Well,
yes, it,
like you already said, you agree to disagree, so we move on. Some people might disagree, but yeah.
yeah, and in terms of like the powerful nations, US tops them all. So um, these are some of the factors I think you should consider because though sometimes the automatic scholarship is or the scholarships are not enough, but it's a start.
Hmm.
It's a start, provided you are not applying to only one school. If you're applying to 10 schools, and let's say you get automatic scholarships or yeah, automatic scholarships for like five of them, it's even a boost
True.
because I know someone who has applied to like Canada, five solid schools, none of them. He didn't even get any automatic scholarship.
Wow.
So that's I feel that's a major plus or a major motivation when you are considering a country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well answered. So yes. we'll go into the second question as a Kopoku. We'll go into your second question in a bit. If it's not answered, then you can say we didn't answer it, then we'll try and answer it by itself. So thanks for that. So back to the journey. So a lot of people ask, where do I start from when I'm looking for, especially like those that are finishing undergraduates, uh,
Okay.
and then they're looking for masters, or they're looking to do the masters straight away.
Okay.
Um, what what advice would you give to such a person? Where should they start from?
Okay. Um, I might sound like basic here, but the most important thing is to get an international passport.
Okay.
Funny enough, let me share an experience here. I'm helping a guy to apply to school in the US. The person got a full graduate assistantship, but the person doesn't have a passport.
Wait, say that again. So they want to study abroad. They're
Yes,
asking you to, and they don't
yes.
have a
We've,
passport.
yes, I helped him like
Okay.
we've done everything we need to do. He was able to secure a graduate research assistantship. The person doesn't have a passport. So it was like that's the basic thing you need to even start the process.
True.
Yes. And before he was able to like maneuver his way around to get passport. So that he doesn't fall behind. So coming back, the major thing is a passport, your transcript. If you're an undergraduate student in level 300, 400, or about finishing, or you're doing your national service, secure your official transcripts. Don't wait because it's tough. Let's say if someone lives in Tamale and the person came to study at University of Ghana, you'd have to go back and forth for transcripts and those things.
Mm.
Your personal statement or your statement of purpose, that's really important in your application. Your CV, your resume, it's really important. Recommendation letters, recommendation, recommendation.
Wow.
Don't,
You
yes,
you stressed on that.
yes, don't wait to finish school before you go and talk to your professor or your lecturer. No, start building the interactions with them now because there are a lot of people in the class. They might not even remember you.
True.
Build the interactions. Let them know your ambitions. Let them know like your plan. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. They can even recommend a school for you
Mm.
or to you because maybe they went to that school. So build the interaction with them. You don't need to be like a first class student or an upper student to build the interaction. No, no matter the GPA you have, no matter the academic standing you are in, build the interactions with them. Because let's say even if the professor doesn't remember you or something, um, at least maybe your participation in class or something that you did, at least will cast his or draw his mind back to what you did. So I feel that's something a lot of people need to do. Let's say you are already done with school. It's never too late. We have two forms of recommendation. We have academic, we have professional, where you are working.
Hmm.
You can talk to your boss, like for recommendations, because they know you. And if the one trick is if they are hesitant to like write recommendations for you, you can write them on your own and give it to them.
Okay.
Yes, you can write them on your own. Let's say your boss will tell you, "Oh, write it for me," but you need to be honest. You need to be truthful to yourself. Like write it, he can review. Like maybe, oh, can I get 10 minutes of your time to like review my recommendation? All those things they help. So these, I don't want to go to the standardized test because some schools waive, some don't. So if I had, let's say, a second class upper and I want to read economics in the US, let's say a master's or a PhD, I would write GRE. Once I write GRE, I won't apply to a master's program. I'll apply to a PhD program in economics, straight from bachelor's to PhD in economics with the GRE. There's also one thing going on with the transcript evaluation. The schools don't trust, like the schools in the US, some of them don't trust, let me say trust, our education system.
Mm.
So they might see a transcript of you having 3.98 from, let's say, Valley View University. So I had my graduate coordinator ask me, do I know Valley View University? And I said yes, not knowing he had gone to check top 5 schools in Ghana. Valley
Ah.
View was. So they might ask you to do a transcript evaluation. They might have to evaluate, you would have to evaluate your transcript because they trust the evaluation system
Yes.
than our education system. And it's really a big challenge because you can even get a school that is waiving the application fee for you, but they're asking you to do a WES transcript evaluation or SPANTRAN or ECE. So it's a major challenge. But if you have the funds, or like if you have someone who can help you do it, you can do it. I'll advise you do it.
Mm.
Yeah, but it all depends on the school that you're applying to. So these are the stuff you need before you can apply to a school to be considered for scholarship or
Right.
assistance.
So just to iterate what you said, so your passport is the main most
Yes.
important thing. Um,
Yes.
your official transcript,
Mhm.
start working on it. Statement of purpose,
Yeah.
your CV or your resume,
Mhm.
and your recommendation letter.
Yeah.
So you could, if you've, yeah, that's if you've, yeah, I left undergrad quite a while ago, so I had to get
Mhm.
my work, my line manager to write
Mhm.
my recommendation for Aston University. So yeah, I wrote to my one of my lectures, and I didn't, it was just by chance. I was like, "Do you even remember me?" Obviously, it's been over 10 years. Said, "Not really." So I had to send my transcript, and then later on, I I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I've got my line manager to write it.
Mhm.
So yeah, um, if you finish uni like a year ago or 6 months ago, I think it's time to reconnect
Yes.
with your lecturers. Yes, ASAP. Don't wait any longer before they even forget who you are.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important.
True. They will forget.
Unless like you're on unless you're on like some those people that never get forgotten. Their names are
Yes.
engraved
Yes.
in the books of those schools because they're just outstanding. Then every debate team they're doing athletics. They I don't know, they invented something in the school, so their names are engraved in the heart of the school. Unless you're one of them, then don't worry about it. But if you're not, and
Yeah.
just went through, then yes, this is the time. So I've got another question. I feel this is more for a visa embassy working
Yes.
person, but I'll ask you anyway. So
Okay.
it says as a graduate with a visa refusal
Mhm.
from let's say UK or Canada or even the US, and you are applying to study in the US, is it going to affect your visa decision in any way? This is what I don't know, but I don't. Anyway, let's see if
Yeah.
you. What do you think?
Um. Normally, the U.S. embassy has its own way of like
Mm,
making their decision to approve or deny someone a visa. If you've been refused a visa in the US, UK, or Canada, it could affect. We've heard of stories people have applied 4 times before they got approved, like 7 times even before they got approved, 3 times before they got approved. I know a colleague who applied to a US visa from Ghana whilst he was in Ghana. He got refused. whilst he went to Germany. He got refused. He applied twice in Germany. Before the fourth time, he got it.
Good. Okay.
Yes. So sometimes it depends on your materials or how you did the application.
Mhm.
Sometimes it depends on how you present yourself to them. Because if they you can't answer the questions like they ask you, or the interview questions, if you can't answer them, because you need to look like a student. If you are going on a student visa, you need to like show the consular officer you are ready, like
Mhm.
you are ready to study abroad. If they see any little doubt, they can deny you,
Okay.
like so often or so many times. Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
So I feel like it shouldn't affect your decision.
I was gonna say I don't think it should, if because it's if you're going for tourism or going to visit a family and if you refuse, they refuse you based on the um the reason that you were traveling. It's that reason that they refused you on. But say if I'm now going to school and I provided everything, including um my acceptance and whatever, it's a whole new different application
Yeah.
altogether. So that was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
But then again, like you just answered that you have to look like you're going to school. So
Yeah.
if
So
not, then yeah.
there's one thing too. Sometimes people don't normally prep well for the
Mm,
interview. That's why like that's why there's Teams consult. Let me use this. Yes, that's why there are so many like
we'll
people.
come to that as well before
Yes.
we end. Yeah.
E- Um I had let me share someone's experience. Um Someone was denied a visa
Hmm.
based on the question they asked. You remember you asked me that question of what challenge did
Hmm.
I face? Like this, a student was asked that question, and the student said, "I will not face any challenge."
That's brave.
Yes, but it sounded weird. You are an international student going to a new country. What do you mean you are not going to face any
Face
challenge?
any challenge.
It's going to get cold out there. The weather is going to be different. It's a challenge.
Mhm.
The food, like even your accent, all those things are different forms of like challenges that at least you can say something.
Mhm.
The person was denied because of this reason. So sometimes it all depends on like your prep. It also depends on your prep. How like you can do mock interviews with people. You can do like um study abroad sessions, webinars. There are a lot of them.
Yes, there's quite.
Yes, because if you don't reach out to people to help you, like guide you, let me say, it, or inform you,
Mhm.
you would keep repeating the same mistakes.
Mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was from Clinton. Hope your answer has been. No, it's not Clinton. Clinton is the next question. No, he's asked twice. He has two
Yes.
different questions. So yeah, that's one of your questions answered. Oh, I hope it's
Yeah.
answered. So yes, it depends. They're refusing you based on the visa category that you're applying to. So I feel if they're gonna refuse you again for a school, it's based on the school, not because of your previous maybe visiting family or tourist or working visa. But then again, like I said, I feel it's more for somebody that works in the visa section or an embassy. But like Sherif just answered, it can be a whole lot. So
Mm.
yeah. Um he's got another question. What class does someone need to be able to qualify for a full graduate assistantship?
Okay. So with the class,
Mm,
I think I mentioned that it depends. I can't just say first class, because what about those who didn't get first class? Doesn't mean they are not going to qualify for assistantships. No, my there was one person or my colleague who motivated me. He didn't get first class. He got a second class upper. He got an assistantship to study abroad, to study in the US specifically. But me that I had a first class, I didn't like I wasn't even informed of how to even apply to schools abroad.
Okay.
So that motivated me to, oh, really, if this guy I used to teach in class was able to do that, then um, I can also do that. So you don't need like a specific class. No, first class you can, upper you can, lower you can, even third class you can. It all depends on how you are going to submit your application. It depends on you. It depends on how committed you are in submitting your applications, in convincing the professor or the lecturer to, okay, let me consider you for graduate assistantship. Some of them even offer interviews. Once you've even been admitted, they can offer an interview session with you to ask you, okay, why are you interested? Why do you think you qualify for this graduate assistantship? You need to prove to them because they don't know you.
Mm.
They don't know you. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, again, you got a point. There's some people that finish, or even in school, there's certain people. Not like you look down on anybody, but there's some people that were doing so great. You feel like
Yes.
when you hear the president of whatever, like you
Uh-huh.
not doubt it, and the other people you're just like, hmm. But I mean, you'll be surprised who gets opportunities that makes them make use of it, and then they shine. So yeah, I guess yeah. I mean, shoot your shot.
Mhm.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yes. What's the worst?
And no, I mean, who hasn't heard no before in this
Mm.
time and age? No is like it's like someone said, "Oh, I'm used to getting no's now." Like you have to. It gets to a point where you have to build that yeah, that strength. That what's the worst that gonna happen? Because I feel sometimes when you do not apply, or when you do not take that opportunity, or even attempt that opportunity, the worst that can happen to you is not taking it, because it will play on your mind. But then if you do give it a shot and you don't get it, at least you tried.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's the best answer. Like, give it a shot. If it's a first class person might be denied it. A second class person would be able to
Yeah.
get it. It's all how you package yourself and how you're able to express yourself. And yeah, so um, there are a few more questions, but I want us to go into when you finish your graduate program or your PhD and so on and so forth. How is the job market like in the US?
Um, okay. So once you finish your let's say your graduate degree,
Hmm.
there are two fields. We have the STEM and the non-STEM. So if you are part of the STEM program, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, you have 3 years. What do I mean by the 3 years? There's something called the optional practical training, OPT. If you are on the STEM or you are part of the STEM, your program, let me say that, is part of the STEM like fields, you can work for 1 year. After working, you have an additional 24 months to renew that 1 year that you are working. But the thing is, so let me say, after you are done with your graduate degree, you have 3 years to work. After the 3 years, there is another option of the H1B, then that's 6 years. 3 years, first 3 years, then you can renew for another 3 years. So the thing is, it all depends on what you want to do. If you want to go into academia or if you want to go to the industry. For STEM fields, you have 3 years. For non-STEM, you have 1 year to work in the US on OPT.
What does OPT stand for?
Yes, OPT stands for optional practical training. Yeah. So it's like you getting a job offer that makes you like legal or eligible to work in the US. Yeah. And you would apply for it. It's like, let me say, a graduate visa. Let me say that.
Okay.
Though you don't go out and stuff, but you are going to kind of renew your I-20 so that they extend your date on the I-20 for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when you look at the I-20, normally if you are entering the US to study the first time, you're only interested in the first page. But once you start like working on OPT, you would have to go to the second page of the I-20 for like them to fill your school to fill some parts of the I-20. Yeah.
Okay.
So in terms of, let's say, the job market, it's hard because we recently heard like 10,000
Big
US
companies that you never thought.
H1B holders have
Yeah.
submitted applications to Canada. It's not easy, but remember, I said the US is the hub for funding, and they can open it anytime. I won't say don't apply. No, there are so many job opportunities in the US, in academia, in the industry. You just need to brand yourself. You just need to like be focused on what you want to achieve. It's possible. Yeah.
Right. So let's go back to Isaac's second
Mm.
question. So, what are some of the opportunities for international students in the USA after graduating their degree? I guess that will, yeah, that will fit in
Yeah.
because there's another question around that same topic.
And I left something like out. Let me add. Once, let's say, you are done with the OPT, someone would ask, okay, so is it only 3 years? After 3 years, what? There's the H1B. Normally, those who want to transition, like, let's say, getting an employment based, like green card, you have to pass through that channel of getting a work visa, like for 6 years. After that, if the employer is willing to work with you over the long term, then they can decide to apply for an employment based like green card.
Mm,
Or there's also a new the national interest waiver. That's if you have an advanced degree or like you have an advancement in your educational like background, you can apply to like a national interest waiver. Those are options people are using now. So there are a lot of opportunities here. So it all
you
depends on
need to find which one suits
which one you fit in. Yeah.
and which one would even, which one you'll be accepted. Because I
Yes.
know in all
Mhm.
of these things, you need to
Yes.
weigh which one would actually benefit you in the long run and which one you even qualify for at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So Clinton has got another question. I think
Mhm.
it's already been answered.
Yeah.
So I know for the UK after graduating, you are eligible to apply for 2 years push study work permit, which gives graduates the opportunity to gain practical experience. How is it
Mhm.
for the US?
Yeah. So
And
it's
region
basically the
and
same.
yeah.
Yeah. But they have different naming and like it's similar. Let me not say same. It's similar, but
Mm,
um, they have like different. The UK, I think it's 2 years or so. Like yeah, 2 years after your study. By US for Stanford, it's 3 years. Then you have another 6 years if you want. If that's if you are able to get an H1B.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if you don't have like let's say you are not part of the STEM field, you have 1 year to get like an H1B or even go back to school or whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually adding to that, I know there is the need for you to get um employed in a specific field with some specific amount of salary
Hmm.
coming in. If not, like yeah, you have to basically pack and
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
Can you
So
like yeah.
in terms of the salary, like it all depends on you. I feel yeah that's for US. It all depends on you. You can negotiate. It depends on your negotiation skills. You can get an offer worth $100,000 a year or 200,000. I know someone who earns like over $200,000 with a PhD. So it depends on you. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say it depends on you, what i- so what if the companies you're applying to
Mhm.
are not offering what the visa.
Are not willing to sponsor your visa.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's one thing you need to also note when you're applying to a job. you need to look for a job that's gonna sponsor your visa.
How easy is it to get
It's not easy. It's not easy. I can't. It's not easy.
mm,
Yeah, it's not easy because I feel like they don't want to expose themselves too much to that. So, and they have like sometimes they have a particular group of people they want to hire. Like when it comes to tech, it's the Indians and the Chinese. Yeah. So if like that's why I said it all depends on you. So during your master, your PhD, you have to brand yourself well. Like you have to like do more things or like add stuff to your
add
don't just
value to
yes, add
yourself?
value to
Yeah.
your life.
Mhm.
Don't just look at one focus or I want to just do this. No, maybe that's not the path for you. Yeah. So that's why I say it depends on you or it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. So we got another question. Would you advise people applying on their own? Yeah. So would you advise people to apply on their own, or just allow agencies to make their applications on their behalf if they're not too sure of securing scholarships or GAs? Is there any agencies you can recommend? I know where this question is leading.
um I would say both. Apply on your own, but you can reach out to trusted agencies like Tim's Consult.
That's why I said I know where this question is
Because
going.
sometimes it's not only you can apply to a school to be admitted and win a scholarship on your own, but maybe the interview, like the process for applying for a visa or all those things, you need guidance.
Mhm.
You can reach out to people to inform you. You can watch YouTube videos to inform you. There are so many resources available online. Teams Consult is also a resource which you can read. That's why I'm saying trusted agencies. Um, some try to maneuver their way to just take people's money and like help them, and they don't even put in the right information and stuff. So you need to be careful because someone can use your information for like other things.
Other stuff,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
without you knowing. So in terms of securing scholarships and GAs, you can do it on your own. You can reach out to trusted agencies to help. Yeah.
Right. So there's one with Martina. I'm a bachelor. I guess he wants to say he has a bachelor in power electrical systems. I'm interested in studying in the US, but I don't know how to apply. Can you help me? Um, yes, of course he can help you.
Yeah.
But when people ask questions like that,
Yes.
it it's like it
It's like you are giving them the scholarship or like
exactly. It's
no,
like I can't help you to get it, but I can sort of give you a
yeah,
guidance around
yes,
it. Like
can
I
guide
can't
them.
say I can give you a scholarship.
No.
Yeah, but I guess it's more of the guidance that they're looking for. Where did they start? Like we just talked about the passport, the official, whatever, whatever.
Mm.
So Martina, yes, we can we can guide you. It's a
Guide you.
guidance, yes, but we can't help you secure the scholarship.
No.
That's too much to put on ourselves. Again, like we've been saying throughout, it all depends on you, the person. Your grades, we can't get
Mhm.
the grades for you.
It's true.
We can't get obtain the passport for you, but we can guide you on what you need to do. So yes, we could give you the guidance, and so that would lead us. That's a perfect question for us to lead
Mhm.
into your consultancy firm. So if you
Yeah.
can talk about it, what you do, what you take on, who comes to you, or like as in the whole, what is it, or what does it
So
all involve?
Tim's Consult is an agency willing to help people grow educationally and like in all other aspects. What do I mean by that? So we normally try to offer consultancy services to people interested in studying abroad, be it US, UK, Canada, and Germany, other parts of Europe, Finland, and the rest.
Okay.
So what we do is we help, we inform, we guide, we instruct people, we review statement of purposes, we we help with motivational letters. So the thing is, we are open. I want to make it personal because we are open to. I want you to feel secured. I want you to feel how I felt when I
Mm.
got here or when I traveled abroad, because um I can't teach you. I've forgotten that saying. I don't want to teach you fish, but I want to teach you
As
how.
in, you can't fish for the person. You teach
Yes,
them
but I
how to
want to teach
fish.
you how to fish.
Yes.
Exactly. So basically, that's what we do. We help with mainly studying abroad. We also help with, like, if someone is interested in working, we can guide you with like how to write your CV in, let's say, the country way, be it UK, Canada. We also sometimes help with tourist visas, like tourist visa applications. Let me be specific. Yes. Um, why do you want to visit a place? Like, you need to be specific. You get, because some people don't have like the right mindset or the mentality to do some application. So you need to like inform them. Oh, if you do it this way, you might be denied. If you do it this way, you stand a chance. Yeah. So basically, we are into studying, we are into like work, we are into like explore the world. Those
Mm.
are mainly our services, and we are willing to help. We have a vision to grow. So check out Tim's Consult.
Yes.
Send a
So
DM.
yes. So where do we check you out? Where website?
We
Social
are on
media, any?
link. We are on LinkedIn,
Okay.
Instagram, we have WhatsApp. Just reach out. We are all on all the major social media platforms. So please reach out, and yeah, just a click away.
So there's one question that it's on there now. Don't do it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna answer it for you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um. I think I'm hearing myself. One sec. So, what is his name again? One sec. I've lost it now. Clinton again
Yeah,
about fake documents. That's why I said I'm gonna answer it for you. Don't
yeah,
do it.
don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's not worth
It's
it.
not worth it. It's not worth it at all. Because I personally know someone who was like, I said, start running your bank, because Ghana, they used to Momo and all of that. So I said,
Yeah.
I get it. It's the way, it's the lifestyle for Ghana. You can't
Mhm.
take that international.
No.
Nobody knows about Momo.
Yeah.
Put that money through your account. Let them know so and so amount comes into your account, and you withdraw it. Whatever you withdraw it for, in Europe, in the US, in Canada, wherever. People put money in their account and use it.
Mhm.
People don't even spend money they don't have. It's called
Yeah.
credit.
Mhm.
So that's all they want to know. It's not about like keeping an amount in your account and not touching it. That's different. That's called saving.
Mhm.
So why would you do a fake? They will find you out, and when they do, it causes more damage. It causes more harm
Yes.
than good. Just don't do it.
Yes. Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Exactly. Don't do it. The fact that somebody was able to travel with a fake document doesn't mean you should do it. And
Yes.
this is why, see, this is why things are very difficult now in terms of people securing visas,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
of people doing stupid. I'll say it as it is, stupid,
Stupid. Yeah.
stupid things like that. If there is no way to do it, it's different. But there is a way to do it. They're telling you you need a bank account. If you don't have it, go open one. you need 6 months or
Yeah,
3 months
3 to 6 months old six.
statement, which means you can't travel in the next 2 months. Run the account. Give yourself time. Give yourself an give yourself time. Build yourself up. Don't rush it. N- See, instant gratification doesn't has not helped anyone before, so it's not gonna help you.
Mm,
You won't be
that,
the only body that it helps. Don't do it. The thing is, before you know, it's not only the US that is going to ban you for a number of years. You're going to apply to another country. They will see this thing in your passport.
mhm.
They will figure it out.
Yes,
It's
they
not
will.
worth it. Don't do it. I will not advise anybody to do anything illegal. That no. If somebody got their visa in 2 weeks, some people got it in 1 week, somebody got it in 2 days. You're still waiting in a year. Wait. And trust
Yes.
me, there's a reason why that wait is there. And I don't want to sound spiritual or anything,
Mhm, mhm.
but it
It's
says
better to wait.
exactly. It's some so it there are times where things that I've waited for. I can be very impatient on certain things, and that makes me human. There's certain things like I I could give a flying monkeys how
Mhm.
long it takes, but the other times where it's like I want this thing to happen this month or this week, and I become quite impatient if it's not going the way I plan it. That is different, but it doesn't mean go do any illegal stuff.
No, no.
It's not worth it. And when you've waited and something that you've been waiting for comes to you, the feeling is different.
Yeah.
And believe you me, when you do this illegal stuff, right, you will not even be able to
Mhm.
enjoy it.
You always you'll be
Yeah,
scared.
you're always having these back. What if I get found out? What if I get found out? You don't want that on your conscience, so don't do it. Clinton, I hope that's my advice. So
Yeah.
Tim, I don't know. I mean, Sheriff, I don't know if you've got an advice
Yeah.
for people
No, no,
just
no.
listening
You've
now.
said it perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it. That's all I'll say. Yes, there are so many resources available. If you don't have the funds, there are student loans, there are student grants. You can reach out to the department, the school. They can help. If that school is not helping, apply to a different school. Like, it's possible.
Mm,
People have done it. So just don't do it.
yeah. So that's it. Don't do it. So yes, Tim, Sheriff. I don't know. I think it's because I've typed Tim's consult.
Yeah. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
The link to the LinkedIn page, so I can post it on the on in the chat for people to follow and stuff. So that's why I keep calling you Tim. Um, I found the page, so I'm gonna put it in the chat so that
Okay.
people can easily find and join and ask questions about it. So you said you help people with the so when you say you help people with the statement of purpose and CV and stuff, do you write it for them or you sort of edit,
No,
you tailor
no,
it?
we don't write. We like we let's say we review it, we
Hmm.
comment, we give you an idea. Maybe, oh, if you can do it better by doing this way, or you can add this. Sometimes you might read a perfect SOP and you can just maybe give the person thumbs up to, oh, this is a good one.
Hmm.
Or maybe someone didn't add, let's say, your research experience, or you could add your research experience, or maybe you could add like your internship, you could add your volunteer, you could add volunteering, all those things. So we kind of just give general advice, general comments, but we don't write. No, because you are going to study.
Hmm.
I am not going to study for you. If I write it for you, I'm not helping you. Yes, and you need to have the passion for what, like you need to have the mentality to what program you want to do or you are going to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the final advice that you can give to anybody currently in the process of maybe looking for a scholarship? looking for an opportunity to study abroad. That is more or less giving up, because I know there's
Mm,
a lot of that going on because of all these no's and refusals and stuff.
yeah,
It gives sometimes it gives people the anxiety, and they more or less just think it's not for them. So
yeah.
what advice would you give to people that are still looking to um
Oh,
apply?
um, yeah. Though I'm in the US, um, and I would encourage for people to apply to the US. That doesn't mean you should only apply to the US. No.
Mm,
One mistake a lot of like prospective applicants do are they don't have backup plans. You need to have a backup plan. So you can be admitted, you can get a full scholarship, but you might not get a visa. So you need to have a backup plan. Spread the applications across countries. Look for the program you are interested in. Read the instructions, the program objectives, like what the program is about. Like spend time. It's an investment. I always say this: traveling abroad is an investment. Studying abroad is an investment that you might not see it now, but it's an investment into your own life or your future.
mm.
So I would advise be patient. If you've been denied, it's not the end of the journey. Try again. Keep trying. Because if you are not rejected, rejection does not mean anything. It means maybe it's a redirection to a different place. So have a backup plan. Be patient. Some of the professors, you might email them, they will not reply. Be patient. Be persistent. Keep trying. Can you hear me? Is
Yeah,
my
yeah,
network?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Keep
listen.
trying. Keep trying. Build interactions. Even if like you got rejected to a particular school, you can reach out to the school. Oh, what do you think I did wrong in my
Mm,
application? It can help you for the subsequent like applications or the future application that you might do. We don't do that. I a few people do that. If you are rejected for a particular offer or whatever, you can reach out. Oh, what do you think I didn't do well? That will help me in my next like, application or something.
mm.
So just keep trying. That's the advice I can give. And don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah.
I think yeah, that has become a real caring phrase in a lot of our conversations, because again, instant gratification, there's a lot there's a lot of speed in the world right now. We want everything is to be honest with you, I saw this might not have anything to do with this, but
Mm,
it has it connects to it in a way. So I saw and this is not me sort of trying to ruin anybody's business, but I saw a jollof in a microwave package, right?
mm,
I mean, I love the idea, because it's not everybody that has time to make the stew, wait for the stew to cook, all the time, and then all the time that it takes for the
mhm,
stew to be ready for you to put the rice in, and then constantly checking it so it doesn't burn and whatnot. But I was like, why is that? Why is jollof in a packaging? But
mhm.
this is the way we're going.
Yeah.
Everything is instant. I want it now. I want it today. No, there are things that doesn't happen. That there are things that happen really fast,
Yeah.
but there are other things that takes time.
Fine. It's true.
It's a journey. It's not a sprint. Not everything in life is a sprint.
But,
It's a marathon. I think I would say 99.9% of the things in life is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
no.
That's when that's how people become depressed. That's how people become um they feel like they're lacking behind. They make bad decisions.
Unstable.
Yeah,
Unstable.
they're very unstable. They're not happy. It takes a lot out of you. when you want everything here and now. And it actually makes you quite kind of negative as well.
Hmm.
And you don't want that. It takes a lot of energy to
Yeah.
to have all these feelings. So I would say patience. Yeah, to be honest with you,
Please.
yeah. Even when you're driving to a place and
Hmm.
you need patience on the road, because if not, you're gonna crash.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is with life. Um, and sometimes, like the saying goes, you just don't know when your next yes is going to come. And this
Mm.
is why we keep saying don't give up, because nobody knows. You don't know when your next yes is gonna come.
Yes.
You're not gonna know if you stop.
Hmm. Because the number of thank you for your interest, thank you for submitting an application, the number of we are sorry to we regret to inform you, the number those things they are preparing you for the good one or the best one.
Exactly. Because when that one email comes through and it says congratulations, you know
Yes.
what? That emotion is different. I cannot stress on it enough. Like I remember when
Yes.
I finished uni and I was looking for a job. I mean, I did a lot of jobs that I didn't need a degree or whatever for. And when I got that email, it wasn't like a massive job, but it was the fact that I could actually have something that I would say I'm working up tomorrow. I'm going to work.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
alone was a different feeling because the amount of no's, it was very depressing.
Yes. It's
But you
hard.
see, when that year 1 years came through, it got
Change
to a point I was
everything.
like, you know what, forget it. I'm going back to Ghana. I didn't even know what I was going to Ghana for, but I said, well, at least I have my mom there, and yeah, I was looking for the easy way out.
Mm.
I just wanted to go home. Like I'd had enough of the
Yes.
nose. Not like I had a job waiting for me back home in Ghana, but I just wanted to go, and I just kept trying. And like I said, I started, you know, applying to jobs that I didn't need a degree. You could finish high school and still get that job. And you know
Yeah.
what? Some of those jobs refused me. So I had
Mm.
to now, yes. So I had there was,
Yes.
I remember applying to McDonald's and I took my degree out because I could not afford any
Yeah.
loan. I just needed a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is part of now I can say it and laugh about it, but it wasn't
Yes.
funny back then
Mhm.
when McDonald's was
Yeah.
rejecting my application for to flip burgers or even work on the tills. Um, so yes, we can't stress on patience. We can't stress on it enough. Do the right thing. We can't stress on that enough. And also enjoy the process. Because sometimes when you're not enjoying
Mhm.
something, it makes like a 1 hour job feel like a
Yeah.
24-hour job because you're not enjoying it.
Mhm.
Enjoy the process because it's an investment in yourself.
Yes.
Um, the passport application, the official transcript, the statement of purpose, everything that we've said today. Enjoy the process and enjoy it that when you finally get what it is that you're looking for, you will become an advocate like we're doing now. You be the one actually advising people to say, hey, do it this way, don't do it that way. I did it this way, it helped me. I did it that way, it didn't help me. You will become that person when you enjoy something as well, you are learning from the process. And this is what you need in life. You need to learn from every step that you take. And trust me, it actually makes you a better person. It takes a lot of the stress the useless stress out of it. There's some stress that will come anyway, no matter how prepared
That's
you are.
part of the
Yeah,
journey.
and there's some that we bring on ourselves because we're putting it on ourselves, and it's only us that can take it off. So yes, if you're still here with us, thank you for joining in. I've put Tim's consult LinkedIn page on the group on the chat, and we also have changing the narrative LinkedIn page that you can find on my LinkedIn profile. So it's just a group where I post scholarship opportunities from universities. I put the links on there, those that are open for whatever undergrad, postgraduate, and PhD, different countries. So I put it in there, and also changing the narrative. It's all about bringing resources together. I believe collaboration helps both parties to reach their goals,
It's true.
not easily but quicker, because at the end of the day, um I'll use the reason behind bringing that together. So I remember back in boarding school, especially getting to term end of term, you're running out of resources or food in your box. So I might want to eat, say, gari and shito, which is something that we
Mhm.
all did used to enjoy back in school. So I might have some shito left, but not have gari because I've run out. Another person would have the gari, not have the shito. But we want this food to eat. So what is the best way? We all come together, bring the resources that we have. See, that's basically
Yeah.
we might not it might not come easy, but the thing is, at the end of the day, we ended up eating or enjoying the food that we all wanted but didn't have everything together. So this is what changing the narrative is all about. I might have the information that you need, you might have a resources that I don't have that I need, and together when we do put it together, we're able to achieve both goals and both aims. So it's a win-win thing. So this is what changing the narrative is all about. It's time that we had to change the narrative. It's time to change the narrative. And Jude, thanks for joining us. You're going to say a closing prayer because we're almost done, or we're almost through. Welcome, Jude. Yeah,
Yeah,
be
thank
ready
you.
to say be
Well,
ready to say the closing prayer because we're rounding out.
okay, no,
Um,
no worries. I would also watch the review from the LinkedIn page as it's always recorded as well. But
yeah,
Sharif, thanks very much for your time and also your support in trying to help other people with this much information, because information is everything. I
It's
wouldn't want to give a closing speech because I was only asked to give a closing prayer. So um, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for successfully helping us with our show today. We ask that the impact that we seek to create with our information shared would get to the right people. And then please assist the people that get this information with whatever support they need, even if we are not able to support them in that regard, and help them make their dreams a reality. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
amen. Thank you, Osofo.
You
So
okay.
So yeah, so thank you everyone. Thank you, Sherrif. Thank you so much. It's been event,
thank
and
you
I
too.
will be using your consultancy firm because I've got people asking me questions, and a lot of the time
Sure,
I have
sure.
to sort of signpost them because
Mm,
I don't have all the information. Again, this is why we bring guests to these programs, because we not one person knows it all, not one person has it all, because at the end of the day, um like I said, someone's journey is different from another person's journey, and it's all these different journeys that comes together, and when you put it together, we can all pick and mix whatever that we think we can get out of it. So yes, thank you again, and yes,
thank
this
you
is
too.
so again.
And thank you to you and your team.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
I really appreciate this opportunity.
Mm.
And
Yeah, it's been great, and yes, I never knew you could combine scholarships, and
oh yeah, you
I've
could.
learned something good new today, and I hope you out there have also learned something. So this is going to be rebroadcasted on our YouTube page and on LinkedIn as well, so you
Sure.
can share it to everybody, or when you need to revisit during your application, to the information is there for you to revisit, and hope to see you again next month. We're going to have a lecturer from Aston University joining us to share his experience and his give us also more insights into his journey and applying for schools in the UK. Don't forget to check out Starlight Foundation Ghana. Check out the YouTube page. Check out the Instagram, all these social medias, we're LinkedIn as well, doing great things for street connected kids and their family. Don't forget to also check out AAA Group, um, which is an online store. Just don't check it out. Buy something because we need the funds to help with the project, and also with everything that it is that we can do. You all need the money, 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 money.
Yeah, we
So
need Benjamin.
help with the donations, and so we can achieve our aims and make more impact. So without wasting much more time, thank you once again, Sherif.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming last minute prayers. God bless you all and enjoy your weekend.
You
Okay.
too.
Thank you very much.
Great. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.